Hello class 9th. This is the part 2nd of your chapter The Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. That is your chapter number 2, part 2nd. And we have already started studying about his early life. Let's continue his early life. We have completed till 4th paragraph. Now we'll start with the 5th one. See the 5th one. The young boy took to music early in life. Bismillah Khan ji also started learning music at an early age. Then read from here. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. When Bismillah Khan ji was just 3 years old, his mother took him to his parents' house, to his maternal uncle. Maternal uncle means the lineage of one's mother's side or the relative of mother's side. They live in Banaras. Today Banaras is called Varanasi. And when Bismillah Khan saw his maternal uncle play the Shehnai, he was attracted towards it and he also wanted to learn playing it. Alright, now let's read from this line. Soon Bismillah, we are reading from here. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Bux to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Bux was employed to play the Shehnai. What is his uncle name? Ali Bux. Bismillah Khan started going with his uncle Ali Bux to the Vishnu temple in Banaras. Ali Bux was on a duty to play the Shehnai at the Vishnu temple of Banaras. Right? Now we will start from here. Ali Bux would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Captivated means attracted. When Bismillah Khan saw his uncle Ali Bux play the Shehnai, he would get attracted towards it and he would sit there for hours listening to him play the Shehnai. Alright? Then see from here this line. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. Gradually, Bismillah Khan also started learning playing the Shehnai and he would practice throughout the day, like for the whole day. He never got tired. He was so captivated by Shehnai. Alright? Then see from here this line. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangla Maiya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he would practice in solitude. Solitude means being alone. And apprentice means trainee. Okay. For many years, Ustad Bismillah Khan remained in Banaras. He would visit the temple of Balaji and temple of Mangla Maiya and would remain on the bank of Ganga, where he would practice playing the Shehnai all by himself, all being alone. Okay? Then read from here. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent rags that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. Here we come to know about the talent of Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was so inspired and motivated by the river Ganga. It provoked him to improve his performance and he also invented many rags that were considered impossible to be produced by a Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan worked hard and invented many different sounds with the Shehnai. So by the end of this paragraph, we come to know that Ustad Bismillah Khan was very talented and he was very hardworking as well. Till here everything is clear? Now let's start with the sixth one. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." When Bismillah Khan was 14 years of age, he accompanied his maternal uncle Ali Baksh to the Allahabad Music Conference. Then what happened? Ustad Fayaz Khan, you can read here this name, Ustad Fayaz Khan. He was a renowned classical vocalist. He was impressed by the performance and said that if he would work hard like that, he would make a name in the field of music. So who said this? Ustad Fayaz Khan. Okay. Then read from here. With the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. When the All India Radio started its radio station at Lucknow, Ustad Bismillah Khan started performing from there. Often his Shehnai performance would be on air, like you hear songs on FM and all. So like that, the Shehnai was also on air, that was played by Ustad Bismillah Khan. I hope everything is clear in the sixth one. Now let's read the seventh one. When India gained independence on 15 August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan was the first Indian to greet the entire nation through his Shehnai. He played the Shehnai from the Red Fort on this memorable occasion. Alright. Now let's read from here. He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his speech tryst with Destiny speech. The rag that was played by Ustad Bismillah Khan on the occasion of the independence of India was Rag Kafi. He played it from the Red Fort. After his performance, our first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, gave his first speech. And there were many important persons present there, which includes Mahatma Gandhi as well. Alright. I hope everything is clear till here. Now let's read the eighth one. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Khan was so taken in by the masterio that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenir. So can you see this word? Souvenir. What is the meaning of this? Things given in memory of a place, person or events. Bismillah Khan gave many performances in India and abroad. Some of them are memorable, like the one of Afghanistan. The king of Afghanistan, King Zahir Shah, really liked Bismillah Khan's performance and he gifted him many things which were made in Afghanistan, like Persian carpets, etc., so that Ustad Bismillah Khan would remember his first visit abroad, that was to Afghanistan. Remember this thing, that his first trip abroad was to Afghanistan. Okay, then read from here. The king of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. So it was not only the king of Afghanistan, there were many who were attracted, fascinated by his performance. Film director Vijay Bhatt. See this here, Vijay Bhatt. So this film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed that after hearing Bismillah play at a festival, that he named a film after the instrument called Goonj Uthi Shehnai. You can read here. There were many other people who were attracted to his Shehnai's music. Goonj Uthi Shehnai was a name of an Indian movie. It was made by Vijay Bhatt. He was a film director and he really liked the music of Shehnai that was played by Bismillah Khan. And that is why he named his movie as Goonj Uthi Shehnai. The film was a hit and one of Bismillah Khan's composition Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya turned out to be a nationwide chart buster. Chart buster means record breaker. So the song that he composed in that movie Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya was a record breaker during those time. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's venture in the film music were limited to only two: Vijay Bhatt's Goonj Uthi Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas' Kannada venture Sanadhi Appanna. Remember this, these two, Vijay Bhatt Goonj Uthi Shehnai and Srinivas Kannada venture Sanadhi Appanna. These two. Although this song was a chartbuster, Goonj Uthi Shehnai, he has worked for only 2 movies. Alright. I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film word, he says with emphasis. And what does he say? That he did not like this artificial word of films and the glamour that was there in the film industry. That is why he did not compose music for further any movie. Alright, till here everything is clear. Now let's start this 9th one. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. Thick and fast means he got a lot of awards and was recognized at many places. So he got a lot of recognition all over the world and he was even honored with awards. Till here everything is clear. Now read from here. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival and in the Okasa Trade Fair. Bismillah Khan ji performed all over the world. He performed in United States of America. He also took part in this World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival and in the Okasa Trade Fair. Read from here again. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tahar Mosque, Ustad Bismillah Khan. This Tehran is located in Iran. Bismillah Khan was so famous all over the world that in Tehran an auditorium has been named after him. Alright. Then see the 10th one. Nations award like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. So these awards were conferred on him. Now read the 11th one. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah was awarded India's highest civilian award, and that is what? The Bharat Ratna. With the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said, all I would like to say is teach your children music. That is Hindustani's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music. When Ustad Bismillah received India's highest civilian award, that is what? Bharat Ratna, in the year 2001, his eyes were shining. He was very happy. Why he was very happy? Because his hard work has been recognized and he gave an important message. And what is that message? Teach your children music. That is Hindustani's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our Indian music now. Alright. Now let's read the 12th one. In spite of having travelled all over the world, Khan Saab, as he is fondly called, is accidentally fond of Banaras and Dumrao, and they remained for him the most wonderful towns of the world. Although Ustad Bismillah Khan ji had travelled all over the world, he was given so much respect and recognition, he remained rooted. He remained rooted means Banaras, where he learned music, and Dumrao, where he was born and brought up, were the two most wonderful towns of the world for him. He was so down to earth that although he had travelled all over the world, he still was attached to his birthplace, and he never wanted to leave those places for anything. Alright. Now let's read from here. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in the US, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. But Khan Sahib asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. So here this word, can you see? Replicating. This word given here. Replicating. What is the meaning of replicating? Making a copy of something. So there were a lot of students of Ustad Bismillah Khan, and he wanted that there was a student, and what he wanted Ustad Bismillah Khan to set up a Shehnai school in USA. He promised that he would recreate the temple of Banaras in America for Ustad ji, as he would miss it. So what now now Ustad Bismillah ji Khan said that he was so attached to river Ganga, so he asked his student that would he transport the river Ganga also to America. So he wanted to say that he could not leave India. He was attached not only to the temples of Banaras but also to the holy river Ganga, where he learned so much, where he started making his own rags. Alright, till here everything is clear. Now let's read from here. Later he remembered to have said, "That is why everywhere I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and the Holy Ganga, and while in Banaras, I miss the unique matha of Dumrao." What is the meaning of yearning? Longing, having a desire for something. Alright? Ustad Bismillah Khan said that whenever he visited any foreign country, he longed or he desired to see India. He wanted to return to India. And then he says that when he was in India, even in Mumbai, he yearned or he long desired to visit Banaras and the river Ganga. And when he was in Banaras, he missed his birthplace Dumrao and the matha where he sang Chet and was rewarded with laddu of 1.25 kg by the Maharaja. So he was rooted, he just missed his native country, that is India. Let's read the last paragraph. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Here, the writer says that Ustad Bismillah Khan was a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India. His work was beyond the regional barriers. Although he was a strict Muslim, he followed the Muslim laws, but every morning he would play the Shehnai at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. That is a very famous Shivji's temple in Varanasi. This was a Hindu temple. This shows that he did not have the barrier of religion in his mind. He was a true Indian. He considered music to be India's richest cultural heritage that we have. Alright. So, Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away. He had been ill for a long time, and he died on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90. The entire country mourned the death of this legendary musician. There was a holiday for one day and he was given a state funeral. All right. So he died on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90. He was 90 years old. All right. So this is the life of Ustad Bismillah Khan ji. We should learn from his life, the hard work that he has done. There's a lot that we can learn from his biography. All right, so that much is in this chapter. Read this chapter once again, and I know this chapter would be very clear to you all now. So bye and take care.